Yeah, we are in the midst of yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to episode 6 of my Minecraft survival series. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are down in my villager trading post, and since the last episode, I have been busy trying to find some villagers that have worthwhile trades, and since then, I've actually only found one, but this one is a doozy. Check it out. Mending for 22 emeralds. We did it. We finally got a villager with an extremely good trade. I mean, this guy's pretty good. He's got fortune 2 for 14 emeralds, which is pretty good. I'd rather have fortune 3, but we got mending. This guy's trades are locked. I traded with him. Hopefully he never dies. A zombie never finds his way down here and turns him into his, I mean, of course we could heal him, but I don't know. We're going to try to get as many mending books as we can out of this guy. So yeah, no other villagers have had any trades worthwhile yet. I still want to get efficiency and maybe unbreaking, but definitely silk touch as well. And then on top of that, I think what we're gonna go for to get emeralds is we're gonna go for a bunch of toolsmiths to get their iron, so that we can get emeralds that way, because I plan on building an iron farm probably within the next couple episodes. But anyway, the plans for this episode: number one, we need to start getting resources for our main mega base, because it is going to take a lot. I've started mapping out the area that we're going to use to build the mega base, which I've used with these grass blocks here. And as you can see, I wasn't messing around. The base is going to be gigantic. It's actually, I measured it, I started building it in my creative world, and I don't want to show you what I have yet in the creative world because I don't want to spoil anything. But anyway, it's 64 blocks by 94 blocks is the area that the base is going to go in. It's going to take a long time to build this thing, but once it's done, it's going to be so worth it. It's going to be so awesome. But anyway, the palette for this thing is going to be birch planks. Yep, planks. And of course, we're using stairs as well. We're also using oak fences, which is another block that we're going to need a lot of. We're going to need black stained glass, actually. It actually looks really cool when it's all put together. White concrete is probably the number one block I'm going to need. I'm going to have to figure out a way to mass produce bone meal. So we're either going to build a bone meal farm or a mob farm. I haven't really figured it out yet. And then we're also going to need a lot of quartz, which I've already been mining a lot of to repair my tools, my mending tools. But yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to get all of that and mass produce it. It's going to take a while to get everything that we're going to need. I'm probably just going to build it in small increments. But once it's done, I reassure you, it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. As we build it, it'll start to come together and you guys will see exactly what we're dealing with as it's come together. I'm going to have to do some more terraforming. Like I said, that hill's got to go. Plus, the 94 blocks kind of stretch out over the water over there. We're going to have to build out the sand a little bit over there so that the base can expand out over the water. Well, I don't want it hanging out over the water. It's just going to look weird. So we're going to have to do some terraforming to make it look a little better. But anyway, for this episode, I want to build some simple farms because there are some things that I'm sick of doing. First off, I'm sick of harvesting wool. So we're going to build some auto wool harvesters. Next thing, I'm sick of harvesting the wheat. I mean, of course, you can't fully automate farming, but we're going to build a farm that does collection of the wheat automatically for us, and then all we have to worry about is planting the seeds. Then I also want to see if we can build a bone meal farm, and then maybe one more. I want to spend this episode automating as much of the resource collection as possible. Then we'll maybe go out, we'll see if we can get some wood, some saplings as well for birch trees, see if we can get a bunch of those, because I want to build a classic wood farm. It's not really going to be anything crazy because we don't have the bone meal yet to really automate it, but we're probably just going to build a little area where we can harvest the wood and automatically collect the saplings and other drops that fall out of the leaves. So that's going to be the plan for this episode. And we're going to go ahead. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put the simple sheep farm together. And we're going to need shears for that. We're going to need a hopper. We're going to need to grow some grass. And we're going to need an observer. So I will go grab all that stuff and we will get started on these simple basic farms. So we got the sheep farm started, but there isn't too much else I can do right now until I wait for this grass to grow up on here, because we need the grass for the sheep to eat. And then basically what will happen here, this is a pretty simple and classic farm. Well, not classic because the ability for shears to shear sheep out of a dispenser was just added within the last couple versions as far as I know. But anyway, the grass will grow up onto this block here. The sheep will sit right there. We'll put glass around so it can't escape. Then what will happen is it'll eat the grass when it gets hungry. It will send it'll make this observer go off, which will activate this redstone behind it, which will then activate the dispenser, which will shear the sheep. The wool will then drop and get picked up by the hopper minecart, and then down into that hopper, and then down into this chest here. Not very complicated. Once it's actually up and running, I'll show you guys how it works if you haven't seen one of those before. But like I said, pretty classic farm. Now let's go over here, because we have actually started work, as you can see, on our automatic wheat farm. Now, not fully automatic. Obviously, you can't really make a fully automatic wheat farm. But if I come up here, it's pretty simple what I've done so far. It is a, what is this? 7 by 5 patches, and you can actually build this as high as you want. You can keep it going forever and ever and ever if you really wanted to, if you had all the redstone for it. But anyway, that leads down into this collection area where there's 2 water sources on either end here, which lead into this hopper right here, which then leads into the chest. And now I just realized I'm not really gonna be able to get out of here, but that's okay. But that's it. So you hoe all this, you plant your wheat, and then at the top here you have dispensers which are full of water, which will then break the wheat and push it down into the collection area. So let me actually just build this so you guys can see how this works. It's actually quite simple. So it looks like I built one too many dispensers. That's fine. So each dispenser gets a bucket of water. We have a total of 8 buckets of water. We only need 7. So that's the last one. Then I'll come back around here and put blocks behind the dispensers. And then we will lead redstone all the way down back to the beginning. We do need 2 repeaters so that the signal will reach all the way down to the bottom. So you're going to want to place redstone behind and on top of all the dispensers. You actually don't need to do behind. I just realized. That's the way that I've always done it. It doesn't really matter though. But anyway, we'll lead it back down. And we're actually going to need a repeater, about right here-ish. So we'll place down that repeater here, and then we will keep going until we get about here, I believe. Actually, I think I might have placed that repeater in the wrong spot, but it actually might reach the whole distance. So let's see. So we lead it all the way back down here. Then we place down the button right here. Let's see if that fires all the way. And it actually does. I thought you needed 2 repeaters. Apparently not. I must have counted wrong. But anyway, as you can see, if you fire off all the dispensers using the button, the redstone leads all the way up, goes across the dispensers will fire out and shoot the water down. So since the water flows only 5 blocks and then drops down, it will actually flow forever. So this is why you can ultimately build this as high as you want. So any of the wheat that grows in here will automatically get broken up by the water and the seeds, and all the wheat will flow down and go into the hopper down there. So if I throw this dispenser in, you will see that, well, right now I forgot to put the, well, it sinks right there, but I forgot to put signs along right there so that all of the water sources that are flowing down won't go down into that area. Therefore, all of the wheat and the seeds will flow directly into the middle hopper. Let me actually turn this off so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I'll have signs along that whole little stretch of blocks there, which will stop the water sources from flowing onto that, which will therefore make it so that the wheat and the seeds can flow into the center hopper. And if I go down here, you can see that my dispenser is right there. So that's pretty much all there is to it. All you need to do now is, oh, I actually almost forgot. If you come down to the side here, so right in the middle of each of these areas, so right here is where this is, right there actually, you need to place a water source. So let me get a block right there, and then I'll place down my water source and cover that up. Then obviously that's to make sure that all of the farmland will be saturated with water. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I'm gonna place in all the water sources. I'm gonna plant all of the wheat. I'm gonna place the signs, and then that's pretty much it. Then we have our semi-automatic wheat farm. Alrighty, the wheat farm is all set. Now we just play the waiting game, and once it's all grown, we come back, we smack the button, we get wheat, we get seeds. Everything's fantastic. We go back, we plant them. Don't have to worry about going around and punching the wheat anymore to collect it. So anyway, that's all set. We're just gonna sit and wait with that. And if we pop back over here to where I have my animals housed or penned or whatever you want to call it, I now have the sheep ready to go inside of the automatic wool shearing farm thingy, whatever you want to call that. So we're just gonna get passive wool from this. I think it produces, I don't know, 40 wool an hour or so. I mean, that's what I saw in my creative world. I don't really know if that's, you know, oh, look, it just actually just sheared the sheep. So let's see how many we got from that to make sure it works. Okay, we got 3 from that shearing. So if you don't understand, it's not that difficult. So the grass in the middle block, the sheep will eat it. When that happens, the observer fires powers this piece of redstone, which then powers the dispenser, which will shear the sheep. Yes, you can shear sheeps from shears inside of a dispenser now. Like I said, that was added a couple versions ago. Anyway, beyond that, I've planted a bunch of birch saplings because we are going to need a lot of birch wood for my mega base. But the next thing we're going to need, that I started thinking about a couple things, we're going to need a lot of bone meal, which I'm going to work on, and we're going to need a lot of scaffolding. I'd like to get you know, at least a stack of scaffolding. And the bamboo that we got over here from our travels has actually given us almost 2.5 stacks of bamboo, so we're good there. But we also need string for scaffolding. And if you remember from a couple episodes ago, we found a cave spider spawner sitting out in the open, so we're gonna head over there and we're going to build a cave spider farm, which is also going to double as an experience farm. So I'm sick of having to go into the nether and mine nether quartz to get my mending tools repaired. I've also done some AFK fishing to do that as well, and I've gotten a few more books. I was able to get mending on this axe and put a few more enchantments on my armor, but it's a tedious process to do AFK fishing to repair your mending tools. So we're going to build a simple mob farm for AFK, or AFK spider farm, whatever you want to call it, off into that mesa biome. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to build a nether portal out there. We're going to link it up to a portal in the nether so that we can easily travel back and forth. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the calculations, make sure that the nether portal links up, and maybe I'll build a little tunnel or something in between these two so that we don't have to run through the nether every time we want to go back and forth. Eventually, I want to get on the roof of the nether, so it's not really going to matter that much. But for now, we're just going to do it this way. So I will see you guys when I have these nether portals in place and when we've got the farm going. We just got about halfway to the spider spawner on our little adventure, and I actually just noticed this little outcrop chilling in the middle of nowhere. Came in here, there was an emerald and some coal, another mending fishing rod. We don't really need that at this point, but that's pretty cool. I was collecting some of the blocks over here. There was a magma block and some obsidian. I was just collecting all that. But also, if we pop over here, check out what we found. We found a beehive with some bees. So this means we can finally get started on our honey farm. I just gotta figure out a way to get these bees back over to the main base. Probably gonna be quite the challenge, but we'll figure it out. I don't really know what we're gonna do, but yeah, I'll be jotting these coordinates down and we will be back. Okay, we're back at the spider spawner, and I already have the portal built in the nether. I did some calculations and figured out where exactly I need to build it to link it up. So fingers crossed that it links up. Yes, it linked up perfectly. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to build the infrastructure around the spider spawner to turn it into our string slash XP farm slash whatever spider farm, whatever you guys want to call it. And I think we're gonna have to build a tunnel between that portal and my portal way back over there that leads back home, because I don't feel like falling in lava pools anytime soon. So I will be back with you guys when I have made some progress on the spider farm, and hopefully it starts working like a charm for us. Alright, so we have successfully converted the spider spawner over into an XP slash string slash spider eye farm, whatever you want to call it. Cave spider farm. I'm so sick of getting poisoned. I got poisoned like 3 times already. But anyway, it's pretty simple. It's your standard 9x9, you know, water farm, leading them down into this little area. My portal is up there. I kind of haven't done much with decorating this yet. I want to put an enchanting table over here in case we ever want to do some standard enchanting, but I don't know if we'll end up doing that. But anyway, we'll get a crafting table, we'll get an enchanting table over here and an anvil so that we can do some fun stuff. But anyway, I'm going to spend some time here. I'm going to recharge all of my mending tools, and I will be back with you guys in just a bit. All of my mending tools have been restored to a pretty decent durability level, so we've popped back to the main base area, and I've pillared up right next to the new construction site for our mega plantation base. So I want to end this video with a building session, a time lapse showing you guys some progress made on the mega base construction as I've promised. We're not going to do any flattening out of this hill in this episode. I want to just build the front of the base. And if my calculations are correct, that means we're going to need about 9 stacks of birch logs and about 12 or 13 stacks of quartz pillars. That's probably going to be the bottleneck right now. The other materials that we're going to need eventually, we're going to need stone bricks, we're going to need black stained glass, we're going to need a lot of birch trap doors, we're going to need oak fences, oak gates as well, believe it or not. That actually adds a little bit of flair to the build, as I've seen. Like I said, I started building it in creative. It's coming together really nicely, but I want to make some progress on it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to the nether. We're going to do some branch mining to find as much quartz as we possibly can until we can get the 12 stacks of quartz pillar blocks that we need to build the front part of the mega base. That's probably going to take a while, but that's okay. As soon as I have that, we're going to go ahead and start the time lapse. So for you guys, it's going to be like it never even happened. But yeah, so beyond that, I've planted some oak saplings as well because we are going to need oak for this build. I got a bunch of birch trees going over there. I've been harvesting those. We got way more than enough birch wood to get started with the front of the base. So I'm going to pop over to the nether. I'm going to see what I can do about getting as much quartz as I can as quickly as possible, and I'll see you guys in the time lapse. The fact that I'm standing here and not doing a time lapse probably tells you guys that something happened. Well, it did. I was mining in the nether, and I fell into a lava lake. Just like I told you I didn't want to do. But it happened. Never dig straight down, even if you are doing the double block method. I lost my Fortune 3 mending pickaxe. I lost my backup pickaxe. I lost several stacks of torches. And I think I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna cry. Well, okay. All right. I'm going to work on getting my tools back. Thankfully, I didn't bring anything else into the nether. Those are the 2 biggest things I lost. Pull yourself together. So I was able to get my pickaxe back, minus the efficiency, which, of course, we'll worry about that later. I'm not too concerned about that right now. But I just spent about an hour and a half in the nether doing some strip mining, and I only got 57 quartz pillars. So I decided something. I hate the nether. I hate quartz. I never want to ever have to mine it again. I'm never going back into the nether if I can help it. But there's a block I actually didn't think about that I can use for my mega base, and I cannot believe it took me this long to think about it. Snow. I can actually use snow blocks to replace the pillars on my mega base, and it actually looks really cool. I replaced it in my creative world. It looks really sweet. So that's what we're gonna do. There is an ice biome. There's a few biomes that I've been to, but through my explorations, where we have found some snow. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a simple snow farm. We're gonna go get all the snow blocks that we need for the front part of the mega base, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna start doing the assembly. We'll do the time lapse, and yeah, I think that should work out just fine. So the long-term plan actually is to get a bunch of mason villagers because they will trade 1 quartz pillar for an emerald. Once we can mass produce emeralds, which we'll probably end up doing using iron once we get our iron farm going in the next couple episodes, we'll be able to get all the quartz pillars we need and we can replace the snow blocks. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go find some snow. So I was able to run off to a mountain biome that I found in my explorations, and we were able to get a bit of snow and grow a pumpkin from the seeds that we also got from those explorations, and we were able to make this snow golem, and I've been sitting here for about half an hour just doing this. So yeah, if you've forgotten how completely OP snow farms are these days with the snow golems, it's ridiculous. I've already got the blocks that I'm gonna need for the front of the base, and I've only been at this, like I said, for maybe 15, 20 minutes. You can see how quickly I just got almost a full stack in that matter of, I don't know, what was that? 5 minutes. So we're gonna have the snow we're gonna need for the front of the base in no time. But we're gonna be starting the building time lapse, so I hope you guys enjoy. And that is a portion of the entrance to the mega base complete. So that took me about an hour. It really wasn't that long. But anyway, it's pretty simple. So we have birch as the floor. We're using oak fences and oak gates, which actually give it a little bit more character. I think it looks pretty cool to kind of connect the pillars together and give a little bit of separation between the front of the base and what's going to be the underhang or whatever you want to call it that's going to be up here. And we have the pillars, which are made out of snow, and the birch stairs. We also use birch stairs at the base of the pillars and along the front, and it's also going to go all the way along the sides of the base as well to give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more character. So like I said, it looks really good with quartz pillars, but I don't really have the capacity to get quartz pillars in bulk right now. So snow is a fantastic replacement. We're also going to use white concrete. That's another thing that we're going to have to do a lot of farming for. But anyway, that is all the time I have for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. And if you liked it that much, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications for future videos. We're going to make a lot of progress on this base, and eventually it is going to be amazing. I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.